me do this Bible reading. Since we are doing, we have an assignment to complete the Bible in either 4 months or 6 months. So, because I have a busy schedule, I'm going to do it in the 6 months. So, I'm going to start with the Book of Hosea. I've read Genesis. Oh my gosh. I feel like I've read Genesis and Exodus a million times. And I'm like, I could start from Genesis straight to Revelation, but I'm like, I've read Genesis and Exodus so many times. I'm like, I just want to start with something different. So I'm going to start with Hosea. And Hosea is a very unique story out of the Bible. Like, yeah, we've heard of Esther. We've heard of Ruth. We've heard of Jesus. We've heard of the disciples. We've heard of the prophets, Daniel and Jeremiah. We've heard of the judges. We've heard of Samuel. We've heard of I'm trying to think, what's his name with the Samson. We've heard of Moses. We've heard of Adam and Eve. We've heard so many stories, of these people. We hear those a lot of times, but like Hosea, you don't really hear too much about Hosea in the Bible. So it's a real unique story. So plus I wanted a short book because it's so late. I just wanted to do a short book, so this is going to be really short. But then you have Joel, you have Amos. I wonder if I should just go on and I guess depending on how I feel, we've even read about Jonah. So I don't know. These are all like a series of like short stories in the Bible. But I'm gonna start with Hosea, and I think I might just leave it at that. But yeah, because Amos is short too. It's like real short. Jonah's short. Micah is short. Nahum is short. Like all these are. Habakkuk is definitely short. Zephaniah is short. Like all these are like short stories in the Bible. All right, well, let me just go ahead and start with Hosea, and if I'm led to keep going, then I'll go. I just wanted something short. So, the word of the Lord that came into Hosea, the son of Beeri, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam and the son of Joash, king of Israel. The beginning of the word of the Lord by Hosea. And as the Lord said to Hosea, go, take unto thee a wife of whoredoms, and children of whoredoms, for the land hath committed great whoredom, departing from the Lord. So God was basically telling Hosea, go and marry a whore and take her children. Take a whore and the children of whore. And basically marry her, right? So you be seeing all these memes about, sorry God, but people be making fun about you can't turn a whore or a hoe into a housewife. Well, clearly it's in the Bible. I'm sorry, God. I'm sorry, Jesus. I'm sorry. It was funny. Listen. There's nothing new under the sun. And clearly, I might change this title. I might change this title and call it turning the hoe into a housewife. How you doing, Brayon? I might change this title. It might be, yes, you can turn a hoe into a housewife, because clearly it's in the Bible, right? I'm sorry, that was funny. Okay, so basically, that was an assignment from God. Hosea's assignment from God was to go and marry a whore, take unto you a whore, and the children of a whore. That was his assignment. Whoa. So some people are called to do that. Like, everybody won't. I mean, I'm talking because clearly this book is short, okay? It's a short story. But when Jesus walked the earth, one thing that I loved about Jesus is the people that he surrounded himself around were the ones that everybody looked down upon, the ones that everybody thought that they were better than, the ones that everybody, were so judgmental about, because the Pharisees and the Sadducees, right? This is the government in the church. These certain type of people, like whores and prostitutes and tax collectors and, murderers, and all these people, that were seen to be, at the bottom, right? Jesus, when he walked the earth and when he did his ministry, like, a lot of those people that he was surrounded by were the prostitutes, were the tax collectors, were the murderers. When you look all through the Bible and you see the people that God used, right? It was something wrong with all of them. Moses had an anger problem, and he was a murderer, right? Noah was a drunk. David, we all know King David was a murderer, adulterer, I'm trying to think. Solomon, he had so many women, like his father. King David had so many concubines that Solomon inherited concubines, just hundreds of women, right? I can go on. Clearly, I can go on and on and on, like, about all the people that was used in the Bible. Ruth, she was she was a high priestess, for a king under a king that did worship to false idols, idolatry. She was one of the high priestesses that was used for the ceremonies to sacrifice children unto a stone image, right? So here in Hosea, when you read throughout all the Bible and all the stories, Samson was a womanizer, right? He was a womanizer. When you read, that's why when Jesus came and they seen him healing the sick, raising the dead, he was talking to the woman at the well that had 5 husbands, right? And the one that she was with wasn't her husband, and he didn't judge. When they caught the woman in the act of adultery and they were trying to stone her to death, Jesus didn't, he didn't do that. He didn't judge her, So when I come across Hosea and his assignment from God was to marry a whore, to take upon himself a whore and the children of a whore, which means that he was a stepdad. He took upon a whore and her kids. Them wasn't his kids. So you got people, and it's all right to want to have a selection of who you want to date and who you want to marry. Some guys, they prefer to have a woman with one or no kids, and vice versa. But you have some people that have a lot of kids, and then they want to be with a woman that only has one. You got 18 kids, and then you want to go by all different women, right? So that's a lot of single parent homes. And I'm sure if you got 18 kids, you can't be in 18 homes at the same time. So you raising all these kids. Well, you probably ain't raising them, but the mothers are raising all these children by themselves, right? And then you guys, I'm not going to go into all of it because it's a whole nother topic. But so Hosea was assigned to be a stepdaddy to somebody that was for the community, that was for everybody. She was for everybody, right? So I'm in Hosea chapter 1. So I'm just gonna start to the beginning. So this story is not uncommon to me. It doesn't seem strange to me. It's unusual, but it's kind of not unusual, right? There's nothing new under the sun. So the word of the Lord came unto Hosea. The beginning of the word of the Lord by Hosea. And the Lord said to Hosea, go take unto thee a wife of whoredoms and children of whoredoms, for the land hath committed great whoredom, departing from the Lord. So he went and took Gomer. So he went and he chose Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, which conceived and bare him a son. And the Lord said unto him, call his name Jezreel, for yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu. So those who are not familiar with Jehu was one of the ones that came and destroyed Jezebel and Ahab. Jezebel was a witch. She was a witch. See, Ahab in the beginning was a man of God, and then he married Jezebel, and she was like deep off into witchcraft and into the occult and idol worship. And I mean, when he married her, she caused him to turn from God and to serve false idols, to serve Baal and Ashtaroth. And they created like stone figurines in the town that they rule over, and they kind of were trying to force everyone to worship those false idols. But then you had a group of prophets from God that wasn't trying to worship those false idols, and so basically Jezebel kind of waged war against them and sought to kill them and seek them out and kill them. And Jehu was the one, if this is the same Jehu, because there may be more than one Jehu throughout the Bible, but if this is the same Jehu, he was the one that killed Jezebel. Okay, so God is saying he will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu, and will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Israel. And it shall come to pass at that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel. And she conceived again and bare a daughter. And God said unto him, call her name Lo Ruhamah. For I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel, but I will utterly take them away. But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah, and I will save them by the Lord their God, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen. Now when she had weaned, lo, Ruhamah, she conceived and bare a son. So now she has Jezreel, lo, Ruhamah, and another son. Then God said, call his name Lo-Ami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your God. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in that place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together, and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. Chapter 2. Say ye unto your brethren, Ami, and to your sisters, Ruhamah, plead with your mother, plead, for she is not my wife, neither am I her husband. Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight, and her adulteries from between her breasts, lest I strip her naked and set her as in the day that she was born, and make her as a wilderness. So let me back up, because it's saying Gomer bore Hosea a son, and his name was Jezreel. But then it didn't say if the daughter, Lo Ruhamah, is his. But then when it says Lo Ami, it says, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your God. So it makes you wonder if she had two other children that did not belong to Hosea, right? I just caught that, because his name was You Are Not My People. So, all right. Anyway, so I'm back to 2. So he said, plead with your mother. She is not my wife, neither am I her husband. Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight, and her adulteries from between her breasts, lest I strip her naked and set her as in the day that she was born, and make her as a wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst. And I will not have mercy upon her children, for they be the children of whoredom. So it's saying right here, they the children of whoredoms. For their mother hath played the harlot. So their mother played the hoe. She that conceived them have done shamefully. So she conceived them shamefully. So she done went and slept with other men and had children that did not belong to Hosea, right? For she said, I will go after my lovers that give me my bread and my water, my wool and my flax, my oil and my drink. So she trying to go be with guys that's spending money on her, buying her food, buying her, drink and wool, clothes, her bread and her water, giving her money, giving her nice things. That's who she decided to go after, to chase them. She didn't want to chase after Hosea. She wanted to chase after her lovers. Therefore, behold, I will hedge up thy way with thorns and make a wall that she shall not find her paths. And she shall follow after her lovers, but she shall not overtake them. And she shall seek them, but shall not find them. Then shall she say, I will go and return to my first husband. Then was it better with me than now. So after she done been with her husband, bore him a child, then she ended up messing around with other men, having 2 other babies. Okay, she decided she didn't want to be with her husband at that time. She wanted to chase after her lovers. But her lovers, they didn't have no respect for her. They just, wanted to use her, wanted to shame her, wanted to have her out here looking crazy, right? We're going to have you out here looking crazy. Because she's saying lovers. Because evidently she believed that there was some type of love there. She had love for this. Maybe she loved them, or maybe she thought that they loved her. But God is saying she won't be able to overtake them. She gonna look for them, and she ain't gonna be able to find them. And so now that she looking for them, after they done put babies up in her, done played her, probably gave her some nice little things, And this is, you got some people whose assignments are to break up marriages. Once they see, okay, well, I have this person, when a person has a baby outside of the marriage, then they decide, okay, well, they want to go and be with this other person that they done had this child with, out of adultery. That person cool. They good. Their assignment is complete. They done ruined that marriage. They're cool. They like, oh, we good. We cool. We done ruined that marriage. Ain't no touching that. And the fact that she had children with these men and she couldn't even find them. Whoa. That's a mess right there. You can't even find your baby daddies. They done put babies in you, and they trying to put it off on your husband. But you and your husband ain't together, because you chasing these men that you so-called love, or that so-called love you, but they ain't trying to be kept. Right? So now she said she want to go back to her first husband, for it was better when she was with him than what she dealing with now. Going through circles, running around in circles, chasing after these men, these lovers. For she did not know that I gave her corn and wine and oil, and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal. Wow. So the things that they were giving her were things that they were sacrificing to a false idol. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So she was married to a man of God. Left her man of God to chase after men that didn't believe God, didn't follow God. Well, of course, because if they did, they wouldn't even been fooling with her in the first place, right? So these men worship Baal. So of course their assignment is to, anytime you dealing with idol worshipers, and then you have a child of God, of course, most of their assignments is to try to break that child of God, try to ruin whatever that child of God has established or has going on, whether it be a marriage, whether it be a business, whether it be, anything, to try to break that child of God down. So what did they have at that time? They had his wife, right? Therefore I will return and take away my corn in the time thereof, and my wine in the season thereof, and I will recover my wool, my flax given to cover her nakedness. And now will I discover her lewdness in the sight of her lovers, and none shall deliver her out of my hand. I will also cause all her mirth to cease, her feast days, her new moons, and her Sabbaths, and all her solemn feasts. And I will destroy her vines and her figs, whereof she hath said, These are my rewards that my lovers have given me, and I will make them a forest, and the beasts of the field shall eat them. So right now, she chasing after these men that she can't catch up with. Everything that they gave her were things that had been sacrificed to a false idol. So those things were cursed, basically. The things that they gave her were cursed things. They were cursed. So now God is causing everything that she has and everything that she touched to become cursed. He's taking it away. He's drying it up. Right? And I will visit upon her the days of Balaam, wherein she burnt incense to them. So now she burning incense to false gods. And she decked herself with the earrings and with her jewels. And she went after her lovers and forgot me, said the Lord. The Lord says she forgot me. She burned incense to these false gods. She chasing after these men who were idol worshipers. And she done forgot me, the Lord God, who sent a man of God to take her in. A good man to take her in, right? Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her. So God had to strip her of everything. Everything that was given to her by her lovers. God had to strip them from her and put her in a wilderness place, in a place where it like nothing. Like how the children of Israel was just walking through the wilderness for all them years, just walking in circles in a dry place. God had to strip her of everything and bring her to a dry place. That was the only way that he could get her attention, because he said he had to take her to the wilderness and speak comfortably to her. So for him to speak comfortably to her, she had to be where there was no other distractions. There was nothing else but just him and her. Right? And I will give her vineyards from thence, in the valley of Arcor for the door of hope, and she shall sing there, as in the days of her youth, and as in the day when she came up out of the land of Egypt. So he's saying, once he speaks to her in her wilderness, he's going to give her vineyards. He's going to bless her. He's going to give her vineyards. He's going to give her a door of hope. And she's going to sing there, right? So, as in the days of her youth. Right? As when she came out of Egypt, came out of bondage. Because chasing after men that ain't looking for you, and you going in circles, that's like he's saying like as if she came up out of Egypt, like she came out of bondage and slavery. Because to wear earrings back in those days, earrings were a sign of slavery. Like when slave masters had slaves, they would pierce their earrings as a sign that they were a slave. That's how they were able to identify who was free and who wasn't, because of the piercings in their ear. And she wore her earrings when she was chasing after those men. Right? So for her to be free from that meant that she was in some type of bondage. For her to be dealing with whoredom and to be chasing after men that she has slept with and had children with that she can't even catch up to. They ain't even coming to look after the children. They ain't even coming to take care of the children. And then the things that they gave her were cursed things. So really, they just used her up, tried to destroy her marriage, got what they wanted out of her, and then they were out. So, of course, there had to be some type of bondage. Because if she kept calling them lovers, they didn't love her. What type of love is that? That's not love. So for her to think that's love and to chase this false idea of what love is and to chase this mindset, that was a mindset. That was a mindset. She was chained in her heart and in her mind. Chasing after love. Chasing, what'd you say? Looking for love in all the wrong places and can't find it. You chasing something that you can never grab a hold of. That's bondage. You a slave to your feelings and to your emotions and to your false mindset of an idea of what could be that will never be. So God is saying once he stripped her of everything and put her in a dry place, he was able to speak to her. And from there, after he spoke to her, then he began to bless her. He had to get her attention so that he can bless her and free her. So he's saying he's going to give her vineyards, give her a door of hope, and she's going to begin to sing as in the days of her youth, as in the day when she came up out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be in that day, saith the Lord, that thou shalt call me. Now he's saying at that day, thou shalt call me Ishi, and shalt call me no more Bali. For I will take away the names of Baalim out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. And in that day, so he's saying all the names that she was calling, those little idol worship and all that stuff, he gonna take that out of her. And in that day, I will make a covenant for them with the beast of the field and with the fowls of heaven and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth and will make them to lie down safely. And I will betroth thee unto me forever. So now he's saying, and I will betroth thee unto me forever. Yea, I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness. So he's saying, and in that day, after I take all that out of your mouth, all that you was speaking and praising and talking and calling on the name of these false idols. See, because it was the speaking and praying and calling out of the name of those false idols and burning incense of the false idols that even led her astray. So her chasing after the falsehood of lovers, looking for love in all the wrong places, chasing after these men that did not love her, but sometimes she felt like it was love because she was chasing after false idols, because that's what false idols do. So once God took all of that from her, then he was able to bring her back to himself. But this time he was able to bless her, make a covenant with her, a promise, a bond, a promise, a covenant with her, and make her righteous. Bring her into him and make her righteous. Once he purified her mouth. Right? And I will betroth thee unto me forever. Yea, I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness and in judgment and in loving kindness. What she was looking for. Love, and kindness. And in mercies. And I will even betroth thee unto me of faithfulness, and thou shalt know the Lord. So that was something she didn't know. She didn't know faithfulness. Because if she knew faithfulness, she would have just stayed with her husband. that was a good man of God. It didn't say in these scriptures, we don't know if he was or not, but it didn't say in these scriptures that he was beating on her and cheating on her and calling her out her name and doing all this crazy controlling and manipulating stuff to her. No, it didn't say that. And it shall come to pass in that day, because she was even saying that it was better for her when she was with him than the situation that she was dealing with, because of how they were treating her. Now, if she was with in a marriage with a husband that was doing all those, beating and cheating and doing all that stuff, I'm sure she wouldn't have thought that that would have been better. Okay. And it shall come to pass in that day, I will hear, saith the Lord. I will hear the heavens, and they shall hear the earth. And the earth shall hear the corn, and the wine, and the oil, and they shall hear Jezreel. And I will sow her unto me in earth, and will have mercy upon her that had not obtained mercy. And I will say unto them which were not my people, thou art my people, and they shall say, thou art my God. So now he's blessing her, and now he's blessing her children. Then saith the Lord unto me, go yet, love a woman beloved of her friend, yet an adulteress, according to the love of the Lord toward the children of Israel. So now God is saying to him, go and love her. Love her. Even though she committed adultery. Even though she was a whore. Go and love her. According to the love that God has toward his children. Love her how God loves his children. Of Israel, who took to other gods and loved flagons of wine. Because see, God's children, the children of Israel, they had cheated on God with false gods. They weren't faithful. So it was like God, that's how he felt when dealing with his children. How Hosea felt in dealing with his wife. So I bought her to me. So I bought her to me for 15 pieces of silver, and for a homer of barley and a half homer of barley. So he ended up buying her, because somehow she ended up being sold as a slave. One of her lovers sold her as a slave, and her husband bought her back. God told her husband to go and buy her. Go and buy her. Go get her back. And I said unto her, thou shalt abide for me many days, and thou shalt not play the harlot, and thou shalt not be for another man. So will I also be for thee. So he telling her, I done bought you out of slavery. You done left. You done cheated. You done went and messed around with all these men, and one of them end up selling you into slavery. And so, me, your husband, went and bought you back. Now I done bought you back from this man that you had left and cheated on me with. Now you gotta do right. Do right. Because this man done put you out here to shame you in front of everybody in the town. The whole town is looking at you. The whole town knew that you was my wife in the beginning, but they knew that you left and went and slept with all these men for all these things that they were giving you, and they led you to follow false gods and do worship to idol worship. And now they didn't want you no more after you done left your husband and you done been with them so long, following after they teachings and all this stuff they doing, then they tried to sell you off into slavery in front of everybody, and didn't nobody want her. Didn't nobody want to buy her. Didn't nobody want her. They was trying to sell her for pennies on the dollar, but God told her husband, go get her. And don't get her for pennies on the dollar. Pay money. Pay top dollar for her. And he paid top dollar for her to get her back. So now he's saying, now that you know your worth, now that you know they tried to sell you and bring you down low as if you were nothing, as if you was worthless, as if you was just a whore out here and you was just dirtball cheap. But your husband, who was sent by God in the first place, came and said, no, let me buy her top dollar. And everybody was like, whoa, whoa. After everything that she done did to him, after she cheated on him, committed adultery, after she left God and went to serve false gods, after she done got played by men after men, had children with these men, and her husband took the children in, and she left the children with her husband to be with these men that didn't want her. Now God is saying, go and get her. Let her know her worth. And love her. Love her how I love my children who turned their back on me to serve other false gods. Right? Wow. Wow. What kind of love is that? Man. So he's saying, after he bought her, so God told him to buy her for me. God said, buy her for me. And I said unto her, thou shalt abide for me many days and shall not play the harlot. So he's saying, you can't be no hoe no more. Them days of hoeing is over. And you shall not be for another man. So will I also be for thee. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an ephod, and without teraphim. Afterward shall the children of Israel return. So God is saying, there's going to be a day when the children of Israel return back to him and seek the Lord their God and David their king, and shall fear the Lord and his goodness in the latter. Because I guess Jesus, back then they had King David. But then Jesus came, right? And he laid down his life. That was the price that he paid for us to bring us back to God, right? So I'm in chapter 4. And it's saying, hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel, for the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in that land. So it's saying it's a controversy because they don't know the truth. They don't know who God is. They don't know the truth. By swearing and lying and killing. They swearing, they lying, they killing, they stealing, they committing adultery, they break out, and blood touches blood. So this is all the stuff that's going on right now. Right now. All this stuff is going on. Therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. Yet let no man strive nor reprove another, for thy people are as they that strive with the priest. Therefore shalt thou fall in the day, and the prophet also shall fall with thee in the night, and I will destroy thy mother. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because they have rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. And I will also forget thy children. So God is saying, my people are dying because they don't know. They dying for lack of knowledge. Basically meaning they dying because they don't know God. They don't know God. So they're dying because they have no truth and they have no knowledge of God. So they don't know the law of God. And so they just basically out here just dying. They dying because they don't know God. They don't know the truth. As they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore I will change their glory into shame. They eat up the sin of my people, and they set their heart on their iniquity. And there shall be like people, like priests, and I will punish them for their ways and reward them for their doings. For they shall eat and not have enough. So they gonna eat and still be hungry. They shall commit whoredom. So everybody gonna be a hoe. I'm sorry, God, because it's a lot of people out here for the community. Listen. He's saying they gonna eat. They ain't gonna have enough. They gonna be out here hungry. Still hungry. They gonna commit whoredom, which means everybody gonna be sleeping with everybody. And shall not increase, because they have left off to take heed to the Lord. Whoredom and wine and new wine take away the heart. Ooh, take away the heart. Wow, I can see that in so many different ways. Take away the heart as in people heart failing them. So you got a lot of people out here, like the black community especially, that's dying from heart congestion, heart failure. Then you got people that don't have no heart, basically saying they don't have no courage, basically saying they weak, they cowards. So whoredom and wine, so sex and wine is causing people to lose their heart, to lose their courage, either way you want to see it. It's causing people to be out here weak, be out here fake, be out here with bad health. Whoredom and wine. The Bible said it. Whoredom and wine and new wine take away the heart. My people ask counsel at their stocks. That's all everybody talk about today is they stocks and who want knowledge and who want to learn the stock market. Ooh, Lord. If this ain't relevant today, if this ain't relevant today, Lord, woo. My people ask counsel at their stocks, and their staff declared unto them, for the spirit of whoredoms have caused them to err. It has caused them to go astray. It has caused them to miss the mark. It has caused them to err in their ways. Whoredoms, the spirit of whoredoms, just being a hoe, just being for the community, just being for everybody. It's an error. It's an error. So all these women that want to be for the community and be for everybody, it's the error. All these men that want to be out here and have all these babies with all these women and have all these single parent mother homes, it's an error. Woo. So it said, my people ask counsel at their stocks, and their staff declareth unto them, for the spirit of whoredoms have caused them to err, and they have gone a whoring from under their God. They sacrifice upon the tops of the mountains, and burn incense upon the hills, under the oaks and poplars and elms. So all these people that's burning these sages. What is sage? Incense. You burning incense in your house to keep the demons out, but it's really inviting them in. Okay, that's a whole nother topic I ain't gonna get into. Let me stick right here, Lord. Anyway, burning incense, because the shadow thereof is good. Therefore your daughters shall commit whoredom, and your spouses shall commit adultery. So it's saying because you're doing these things, your daughter's gonna be hoes, and they husbands is gonna cheat on them. Or the wives, spouses, wives, husbands. So it's saying everybody this is because this is an error. It is causing your daughters to be whores and your spouses to commit adultery. So these men that are marrying these women or vice versa, it is causing their spouses. So a lot of these marriages that are going on are marriages of whoredom. Everybody for everybody. Everybody married and they sleeping with everybody. This is in the Bible, Lord. Woo. I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoredom, nor your spouses when they commit adultery, for themselves are separated with whores, and they sacrifice with harlots. Whores, harlots, they the same. Let me see if I can find out. Let me see if I can find harlot in here. Nope, it ain't. Hold on. Let me see. It's not in this book. Harlot. Nope, it's not in this Bible. I was going to give y'all a definition of a harlot, but it's basically the same thing. So basically, okay, a harlot, whore, they similar, same thing. Therefore, the people that doth not understand shall fall. Though thou, Israel, play the harlot, yet let not Judah offend, and come not ye unto Gilgal, neither go up to Beth-haven, nor swear, the Lord liveth. For Israel slided back as a backsliding heifer. Ooh. Now the Lord will feed them as a lamb in a large place. Ephraim is joined to idols. Let him alone. Their drink is sour. They have committed whoredom continually. Her rulers with shame do love give ye. The wind have bound her up in her wings, and they shall be ashamed because of their sacrifices. Hear ye this, O priest, and hearken, ye house of Israel, and give ye ear, O house of the king, for judgment is toward you. Judgment is coming, because ye have been a snare unto Mizpah, and a net spread unto Tabor. And the revolters are profound to make slaughter, though I have been a rebuker of them all. I know Ephraim and Israel is not hid from me. For now, O Ephraim, thou committest whoredom, and Israel is defiled. Now you are unclean. Because of this whoredom, now you are unclean. They will not frame their doings to turn into their God, for the spirit of whoredom is in the midst of them, and they have not known the Lord. You can't know the Lord if you out here hoeing, right? Because sex, see, when you into the occult and you heavy off into witchcraft, a part of their ritual is sex. So you got all these people in the land doing idol worshiping and worshiping false idols and doing sacrifices and all of this stuff. A part of their rituals is sex. That is how they give praise and sacrifice and worship to the false idols, is through sex. And that's what defiled them and made them unclean. That's what separated them from God. And the pride of Israel doth testify to his face. Therefore shall Israel and Ephraim fall in their iniquities. Judah also shall fall with them. They shall go with their flocks and with their herds to seek the Lord, but they shall not find him. He hath withdrawn himself from them. So Jesus left them. They have dwelt treacherously against the Lord, for they have begotten strange children. Now shall a month devour them there with their portions. Blow ye the cornet in Gibeah and the trumpet in Ramah. Cry aloud at Bethaven after thee, O Benjamin. Ephraim shall be desolate in the land of rebuke. Among the tribes of Israel have I made known, which shall surely be. The princes of Judah were like them that removed the bound. Therefore I will pour out my wrath upon them like water. Ephraim is oppressed and broken in judgment, because he willingly walked after the commandment. Therefore I will be unto Ephraim as a moth, and to the house of Judah as rottenness. When Ephraim saw his wickedness and Judah saw his wound, then went Ephraim to the Assyrian and sent to King Jerob. Yet could he not heal you, nor cure you of your wound. Yeah, it's definitely a deep story. For I will be unto Ephraim as a lion, and as a young lion to the house of Judah. Even I will tear and go away. I will take away, and none shall rescue him. So God even saying, can't nobody help them. They can't save you. They can't rescue you. And then they come looking for God, and God said, no, I'm gone. Get out of my face. God like, get out of my face. Nope. No. So he said, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early. So God is saying no, until they understand what it is that they're doing. Until they understand. When he's saying offense, that means, okay, you have offended me. You offended me. So until you recognize that you have offended me, because you want to be a whore, and because you want to be for everybody and have kids with everybody and do this and do that, you don't want to seek the Lord. You don't want to follow the laws of the command. You don't want to know God. You want to seek after all these other false gods, and you want to seek out, run and chase after all these men and that don't want you. Don't love you. You thinking it's love. You looking for love in all the wrong places. Going in circles. Because they ain't know. See, God is a jealous God. So of course, if you ain't seeking him, and you seeking chasing men and chasing after they gods, and then they giving you cursed things that they sacrificing, that they done sacrifice their money. Because them doing false idol worship, they probably worshiping this false idol to get this money that they're taking to throw at you, or to give to you, or to wine and dine you, or to buy you these things. So now they're giving you, feeding you with cursed money, They're buying things for you with cursed money. So how can God be a part of that? And then you chasing after them and they don't want to look at you. So you try to chase after their God and try to follow their ways to try to get their attention. And no, it don't work. So now everybody's sleeping with everybody. And don't nobody know God. Ain't nobody seeking God. Ain't nobody thinking about God. So God is saying, till they acknowledge their offense, till they know, okay, they out here being whores. They out here doing idol worship. They out here doing everything but the right thing. So till they acknowledge that they wrong and they seek my face in their affliction. So while they're doing it, as they're doing it, in their affliction, as they're being afflicted, because, this come with affliction. You gonna feel that heartbreak. Every heartbreak. Because there ain't none of them gonna want you. Because they not from God, they from something else. And if they seeking a false God, they know, when Jezebel was on the scene and she was worshiping Baal and Asherah, they sought to seek to destroy the children of God and the prophets of God. So they were at a war. So if you a child of God and you chasing after somebody that's against God, then they trying to break you. So in that affliction of them purposely trying to break you down, because it's going to hurt, because they know what they doing. It's going to hurt because they purposely doing it. Because some of them are called to do it. Some of them, that's their assignment to do against you. To cause everything that you touch to fall apart. Your marriage, your household, your career, your success, your business, your finances, everything for you to fall away from God. Some of them, that's their whole assignment. Right? So it's saying, so now after they have been afflicted, after they have been looking for love in all the wrong places, after they've been going in circles and going in drama and trying to keep this man by having this baby, and this baby still ain't keeping this man, trying to keep this man with sex or this woman with sex, and it still ain't working, and now everybody's sleeping with everybody, and everybody's for the community. Now everybody's a whore, and ain't nobody still found love, right? Everybody's still looking for love. So now that they afflicted and they broken down. Because God done stripped them of everything. Done put them in a dry place in the wilderness. Because they turned away from God to seek after this man or this woman. Chasing after this man or this woman and done left God. So now they in a dry place. With a broken heart. With nothing else. And got this baby over here. And the daddy or now you got this single parent. So now they saying in chapter 6, come and let us return unto the Lord. For he hath torn and he will heal us. He hath smitten and he will bind us up. After 2 days will he revive us, in the third day, and he will raise us up, and we shall live in his sight. Then shall we know, if we follow on to know the Lord, his going forth is prepared as the morning, and he shall come unto us as the rain, as the latter and the former rain unto the earth. So as we go to God, he will begin to bring rain into this dry place. This dry place that he set us in, because we turned away from him. He will begin to pour down upon us, right? O Ephraim, what shall I do unto thee? O Judah, what shall I do unto thee? For your goodness is as a morning cloud, and as the early dew it goeth away. Therefore have I hewed them from the prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth, and thy judgment are as the light that goeth forth. For I desired mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of God more than burnt offerings. But they, like men, have transgressed the covenant. They broke their promise, right? And they have dealt treacherously against me. Gilead is a city of them that work iniquity and is polluted with blood. It's polluted with blood, wickedness, evil, right? Iniquity, just a heart just full of mess. Jealousy, hate, envy, whatever. All that iniquity. As the troops of robbers wait for a man, so the company of priests murder in the way by consent, for they commit lewdness. I have seen a horrible thing in the house of Israel. There is the whoredom of Ephraim. Israel is defiled. Also, O Judah, he has set a harvest for thee when I return the captivity of my people. My throat is dry. I need some water. I normally have something to drink right here, but I don't have nothing to drink. I'm trying to decide if I should go on and finish this because my throat and my mouth is so dry. I still got 7, 8, 9. I think this go all the way up to 14. What time is it? Let's see. Okay, so I'm thinking this is halfway. I'm gonna do I think I'm gonna stop right here because it's about halfway. So I did about half of Hosea. I think I'm gonna stop here. This story is deep, and I'm when I come back and finish this, unless I'm led to read something else, then I'll kind of give a brief summary of what I had already went over. I mean, this basically just talking about God, just talking about the children of Israel, and basically just their sins, their transgressions, and what they doing. You know, how he loved them and how they basically just turned away from him. You know, basically, they just, you know, he just wants them to come back to him. He just wants his children to come back to him. He wants his children to know him, to know who he is, to know that he is real, to know that he exists. To know. It's like when you read the Bible anyway, when you read this Bible, the whole Bible is really ain't nothing but a love story about how God created Adam and Eve. And he made them with love. Like God made the heavens and the earth and everything in it. And it was just a heaven with angels and the earth with everything in it. But to God, it still wasn't enough. He wanted to make something that was like him in his likeness. That when you saw this creation, you could see him in it. And that's when he made man. And he loved man. And it was because of his love for man that struck the jealousy and the envy in Lucifer. And that's what caused Lucifer and 1/3 of the host of angels to fall. Because of the love that God had for man when he created man. It was different than anything in the entire creation that God had ever created. And the angels saw that. They saw it. So of course, if God created us in his image and in his likeness, and he created us with love and out of love, when you read this whole story, it's a love story. It's about how God created Adam and Eve, and Adam disobeyed, and that separated him from Adam. But because God loved Adam, God tried to give them another opportunity for him to save them. And so you have all these stories that just go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And then he gave his only begotten son, Jesus. Because he begot Jesus. He created Adam, but he begot Jesus. Because see, Jesus was already sitting next to him on the throne when he created the heaven and the earth. So he begot Jesus. Jesus said, I will go, and Jesus left heaven. Because see, Jesus is, you got the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost. They all one. But they all have their separate identity too. So it was when Jesus came, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son to redeem. So the whole Bible is just a love story about his children that cheated on him with the world, that cheated on him with false idols, that cheated on him with whatever they did, money, fame, lust, materialistic things, just whatever. So it's similar to Hosea marrying a prostitute, marrying a whore. That was for everybody. Because you got some people, they don't know the truth, so they into everything. They into spiritualism. They into witchcraft. They into voodoo. They into everything. They for everything and for everybody. Hey Ed, for everybody. And they done turned their back on God and act like he don't exist because they don't know him. You got people still going to church saying they know God. And I pray that you don't get to Judgment Day and God say, depart from me because I don't know you. That would be the worst. That would be the worst. To get to the judgment seat and God say, depart from me, I don't know you. And you like, I've been going to church my whole life. No. You can go to church and still not know God. So, I might just leave it at that. So I'm gonna read 14. O Israel, return unto the Lord thy God, for thou hast fallen by thine iniquity. Take with you words and turn to the Lord, saying to him, take away all iniquity. So God is saying, say to the Lord, come to him and say to him, take away all my iniquity. Take away all my iniquity, Lord. Take it out of me. And receive us graciously. So will we render the calves of our lips. Ashur shall not save us. We will not ride upon horses, neither will we say any more to the work of our hands, ye are our gods. Because that's what people doing. They creating their own gods. You done made this stone figure. You done made a figure out of stone. And you calling it your God? You made it. You done created a figurine. And you calling it God. Yet it don't talk. It don't hear. When they say, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, it don't see, it don't hear, it don't speak. But you created it, and you worshiping it, and that's what people are doing. All throughout the Bible, all throughout, people are creating their gods. You mean to tell me? You create a piece of paper. A piece of paper. And you put a 1 on it, a 5 on it, a 10 on it, a 20 on it, a 50 on it, and 100 on it, and you worship paper that you created, man-made paper. So paper is made out of wood. So the Bible's saying that his children that went astray from him went and worshiped wood and stone. They worshiped stone figurines and called them gods. And they worship wood. Paper is made out of wood. So you worshiping wood and stone, and you calling it your God. Okay. And that is why a lot of people were destroyed. That's why so much blood shed out here. So much whoredom. So much sin. So much wickedness out here. So God is saying, so Ashur shall not save us. Okay, none of them false gods save nobody. We will not ride upon the horses, neither will we say any more to the work of our hands, ye are our gods. For in thee the fatherless findeth mercy. I will heal their backsliding. So God is saying, I will heal them from their backsliding. I will love them freely, for mine anger is turned away from him. So God is saying, when he come to me, when they come back to me, and they say, God, clean me up, just clean me from like God, I don't want to be a hoe no more. I don't want to be a hoe no more. God, I don't want to worship false idols no more. I don't want to go astray. I don't want to run from you anymore. God, clean me, help me. God is saying, I will heal their backsliding. I will love them freely, for my anger is turned away. So I won't be angry at them no more. I will be as the dew to Israel. He shall grow as the lily and cast forth his roots as Lebanon. His branches shall spread. So God is saying, when they come back to me and they repent and they ask me to clean them up and do all this stuff, I'm going to love them, and then I'm going to bless them. I'm going to bless them. I'm going to bless them. They shall grow and cast forth their roots. His branches shall spread, and his beauty shall be as the olive tree, and his smell as Lebanon. They that dwell under his shadow shall return. They shall revive as the corn and grow as the vine. The scent thereof shall be as the wine of Lebanon. Ephraim shall say, what have I to do anymore with idols? I don't want these idols no more. I don't want to worship these false gods. I don't want them. God gonna say, I have heard him and observed him, and I am like a green fir tree. From me is thy fruit found. Now you're going to be fruitful. Now I'm going to know your fruits. Now you're going to be fruitful. He who is wise, and he shall understand these things, prudent, and he shall know them. For the ways of the Lord are right, and the just shall walk in them. But the transgressors shall fall therein. And I'm going to leave it at that. So I'm praying that we all can turn away from our whoredom. Lord, we don't want to be a hoe no more. We don't want to be for the community. We don't want to be for everybody. We don't want to be out here committing adultery. We don't want to have fatherless children or motherless children. We want to be in a healthy, destined marriage. We want to prosper. We want to be fruitful, Lord. So cleanse us from all iniquity. Anything that is in us that is not of you or from you, just cleanse it. We turn away from chasing money and allowing money to be before you or to be over you or to be ahead of you or to be our God. We repent from that. We turn away from chasing after men that have no purpose in even being with us, or chasing after women that have no purpose in being with us, or anything that is not of you. So we acknowledge that our ways are wrong. We acknowledge that the things that we have done cause you to be angry with us, because you're a jealous God, because you want us all to yourself. Why? Because you created us to look and to be just like you, and you want us for yourself. You don't want to share us with no other God. So it's only right that we turn away from all false gods and come back to you, who is the lover of our souls. Okay? So we thank you for the knowledge that you have given us, and ask you to forgive us for our transgressions, for our iniquities, for our sins, and just purify us and bless us. And we love you. We love you back, because the love that we were searching for the whole time we looking for love in the wrong places and going in circles, the love that we needed and so desperately was seeking was in you the whole time. The whole time. The love that we desperately wanting, seeking for, that we have that void, that hole, feel like that hole in our heart. You got it in your hand the whole time. The whole time. Because you just want to love on us. You just want to bless us. You just want to multiply us and increase us and let us grow. And our children grow too. And you just want us to live right and do right and be right. You just want everything that's good for us. So I receive it, and I pray that somebody else on here receives it too. And with that being said, I hope y'all receive this. I hope y'all receive Jesus Christ, because he did die for y'all. He went down in the grave, stayed dead 3 days, 3 nights, rose up on the third day without power. If you too say, God, Jesus, I believe that you did that for me. I repent for my sins. Be my Lord. Be the Lord over my life. I promise not to go back to my old ways. And if I'm tempted to go back, help me to overcome those temptations. Make me stronger than my temptors. Make me stronger than my temptations. Let the false idols and the things that I was chasing, let it be like a nasty taste in my mouth. Let it be to me, like in my spirit, like let it, what's the word I'm looking for? Let it be grievous to my spirit to where I don't even want to touch it. I don't even want to go close to it. I don't even have the desire to seek and follow after those things that are no good for me anymore, right? So strengthen me in those places. Everywhere I'm weak, that the devil tries to use that as an open door, strengthen me in that area, right? In Jesus' name. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Y'all have a good night. I just want to do a little bit of Bible reading because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get this whole Bible read in these months. But I'm going to do it. Even if I have to come on here every night and do a book or something like that. So I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it together. All right, so I love y'all. I hope I blessed y'all. I hope y'all was blessed. I was definitely blessed, okay? So with that being said, y'all have a peaceful night. May angels come and visit y'all in y'all dreams. Good night. And may y'all have some good dreams. All right. Good night. I'll see y'all next time.